Okay, in this video, I'm going to review some concepts associated with GitHub Classroom, which is a mechanism that I use to create repos that get pushed out for assignments that are shared between you. All right, it's a private repo, so you have access to it, and then I have access to it, and any TAs that I allow to have access to it will also be able to see it. So it's a way that you can do code completions and submit things for assignments. Okay, and so the way I push out an assignment to you is with a link. So to illustrate the process, I'm going to pretend like I'm a student and push this back to myself. So I'm going to copy this invite link. All right, I'm going to paste this into a new browser. Okay, and I've already done this, so it's gonna tell me, oh, you've already done it. But I wanted to show you some things that you will see. Okay, so it's hitting that. It says you're ready to go. You accepted this assignment. It's already been created. The first time you do this, you get a different screen. Okay, you get a screen where you have to accept the assignment, or you might even get a screen that says you don't have access to the assignment. If that's the case, you need to authenticate. So you need to go into your email account that you used to set up GitHub, or if you have some other way of authenticating, it might ask you for a passkey, or it might want to send something to your phone. It just depends on how you have GitHub configured when you signed up for it. Okay, but that's part of the thing we need to solve on week one. We're going to go in the lab. We're going to figure out how to make sure that you can accept an assignment and get this pushed to this repo. All right, so the thing I want to call your attention to is the name. All right, so if I go back here and look at the classroom, is Lab 1 Project A was the name. And so what I have for the repository that was created is this organization, Dr. T. Baylor Student Work. I expect to see that. But also I get the name of the repository for the assignment, Lab 1 Project A, and then my GitHub username is appended to the end. You would expect to see your GitHub username appended to the end. All right, so that's what we're hoping to see. Now, if I click on this, because I've authenticated within this browser before, it takes me straight to the code. All right, and I can see, here's the repository name, Lab 1 Project A, Dr. T. Baylor. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Okay, so now I have this in this repository that's shared between us. It's a private repository. Only you can see it, and instructors and TAs. Okay, so from there, what I need to do is get this down to the computer. So I have a Finder window open, and this is a Mac. You can do the same equivalent thing on a PC. But this is where I want my code to go in my box directory. All right, so I have box, remember, mapped to the lab drives in the computer. You'll use box drive. So loading things into your box space is equivalent to putting it onto the lab computers. All right, so I set up a folder for this already, Logic Lab. That's where all the labs would go, for example. And then I have Lab 1 set up. All right, and so that's the place where I'd like this repository to be pushed down so I can use it with Vivado. Remember, I'm using Vivado to target the hardware. All right, so let's make that happen. And the way you do that is this conduit called GitHub Desktop. All right, there's other ways to do it. You can use a terminal. If you're used to using the terminal, that's fine. It's actually a more convenient way, but it's got some overhead. You have to know some terminal commands. All right, so we're going to do this. And what you need to do is get to a point, click on the screen where you get to where you can find an add. Because what we're going to do is we're going to clone this repository over here that was created based on the assignment. We're going to clone this to GitHub Desktop. So hit clone repository. There's some tabs across the top here. You could actually put the URL for this, but you don't need to do that. So we're going to look just within GitHub. And what you're going to do is scroll down and look for the organization that you're expecting it to be in. So Dr. T. Baylor Student Work, I think you'll see something like this. If not, we'll solve the problem in the lab. All right, so this is the project name that I noticed. That's what I want to clone. And then the next step is, where do I clone it to? Well, this is the Finder space that I want to do that, so I can choose this and browse to it. I'd already browsed to it. So it's all set up and ready to go. this is where I want Lab 1 Project A, Dr. T. Baylor, to be cloned into my box drive space that's mapped locally on the C drive of the computer or the box drive of the computer. So it's all set up. Now I can hit clone. Okay, and so what you see happening is you get a choice. All right, and this is, I think, an important choice because if you notice, you can contribute to the parent project. Well, the parent project is not what we want. We set up we set up individual projects for each student. So you want to do it for your own purpose. And the way you remember that is you should see your new username showing up within this repository name. So Lab 1 Project A, Dr. T. Baylor. Dr. T. Baylor's my username. That's what I want. So I click on that, and now I'm ready to clone. Okay. So when I did that, you see some things happening with the drive, and I click on Lab 1, and now, before that wasn't there, now I have my files locally on my box drive, and I can put these into Vivado. All right, so that's the main thing you need to know about the workflow for accepting assignments.